Tisha B'av is coming up. It's the saddest day in the Jewish calendar, and it has historically been a day of misfortune and tragedy for our people. On Monday night, we will gather in Shul and read Eicha, the book of Lamentations written by Jeremiah the prophet, which vividly portrays the suffering endured by our people during the destruction of Jerusalem and the temple. But there's something odd that needs to be addressed. The book of Eicha is, of course, divinely inspired, which means it was composed through prophecy, nevuah. However, the Talmud tells us that ein hashchina shoyra ela mitech dvar simcha. The divine presence only rests on a prophet while he is in a state of joy. So how was Jeremiah able to say prophecy on this terrible topic of the Churban, especially having witnessed it with his own eyes? One of the basics of Chassidic philosophy is that everything has a pnimius and a chitzonius, a simple meaning, but also an inner and deeper meaning. While discussing the Churban, the Rebbe would often point to the halacha in Hilchos Shabbos that demolishing, stira, is only considered halachically significant if it leads to binyan, to rebuilding. Since Hashem keeps his own Torah, it follows that when Hashem destroyed the Beis HaMikdash, he only did so with the intention to rebuild it in an even bigger and better way. Of course, Jeremiah understood the magnitude of the tragedy. His own poetic words describe it in a way no one else has ever been able to replicate. At the same time, he was in tune with a much deeper truth, a truth that allowed a ray of joy even in the depths of despair, of tragedy. Because when we see great darkness, there is clearly an even greater light at the end of the tunnel. Every single Friday night, Jews around the world sing the traditional Lecha Dodi. In one of the stanzas we tell God, Rav loch sheves be'emek habacha. It's too long that you're sitting in the valley of tears. God, get up and move us on to the final redemption. The holy Abdurav, a student of the Baal Shem Tov, once interpreted this line with a play on words as referring to our Shabbos, the Shabbos before Tisha B'av. During these days, we find ourselves in the valley of tears, in deep mourning. Nevertheless, said the Abdurav, Rav loch sheves. Sheves, Shabbos is great. It's a sublime day which is ripe for the Geula to come. This also reflects the approach that we too must have. Yes, we mourn, as our people have been doing for the last 1956 years. But our sadness, our bitterness, is also infused with the conviction that there will be light and ultimate liberation and ultimate redemption through the coming of Mashiach Tzidkenu. Wishing you and yours a Shabbat Shalom u'mevarach.